So after working on a real-time updates, now we have one last screen remaining, that is our notification screen. Okay. Before that, we don't have API yet. First thing we'll work on API. So we'll quickly go to API services, and in our user service only, I'm going to create one more method. Here we'll say public async task of notifications DTU, array of notification DTU. We'll say get notifications async. Here we are going to have start index and int page size and GUID current user ID. Alright. From here we return await underscore context dot notifications dot where and dot for user ID equals current user ID. Then we'll say order by descending and dot generated on, or what was that, when dot skip start index and take page size, and then to array async. This is going to be entire line. Cut it because this is single line. We can use expression body. Let's move this to next line. What is the problem? We'll see. Where order by descending, skip, take to array async, and it says that it should be of type notification DTO. All right. After where we can say select, or we can after order by descending we can say select new notification DTO, and inside this we need to provide, first we need user ID and dot for user ID, then n dot text n dot when, and then n dot post ID, and now we are good. Let's copy this signature, go to our user endpoints. So endpoints, user endpoints, we are going to add one more here. We'll say it already has slash API slash user, and here we'll say notifications. This is going to be get, yes. Start index page size, yes. User service claims principal, yes, everything is fine. And from here we'll say get notifications async. We'll provide these values. This is going to return us notification DTO. Here we'll say get notifications, name of the endpoint. Server side ready. Now let's move to the MAUI Refit API. So I user API. Here we are going to have this method. We'll remove current user ID. This will be passed by JWT token only. So here we'll say get slash API slash user slash notifications, right? This is the thing which we have in endpoints, notifications. I user API, notifications, save everything, and we are good. We have our notifications API ready. Now let's go to our pages, notification page. Right now we have this notification model list in our code behind only. We'll get rid of this. We'll quickly create a new view model. Inside our view model, we'll create a new folder, not new folder, new class. Let's say notifications view model, view model. This is going to be public partial class inherited from base view model. We'll use constructor. We will inject I user API here. Read only field. Then we are going to have a collection here. So public observable collection of type notification DTO notifications notifications with the default value as blank array. Alright. After that, we are going to have a method which will call the notification, get the notifications. So for that, first we are going to have private int start index equals 0 and private const string page size. Let's have 50 notifications at once. Const int. Then we are going to have private async task fetch notifications async method, and inside this we are directly going to say await make API call async, and then we'll get our notifications from our API await underscore user API dot get notifications async. We need to provide our start index and page size. Then we'll quickly check if this notifications dot length is greater than 0. Then first thing we'll set start index to plus equals notifications dot length, and before that we will check if start index is 0 and notifications collection observable collections dot count is greater than 0. That means this is pull to refresh. We'll have this functionality as well, pull to refresh. In this case, we'll clear the notifications and then we'll continue. So start index we are increasing. After that, we'll simply have a for each for notification in notifications, and then we are going to use notifications, the uppercase one, the observable collection property dot add this lowercase notification. Now this is ready. We are going to make it as a relay command, and then we are going to have one more thing. Is this we are missing one case here. All right. Then we are going to have one more property here because we are using pull to refresh. So we'll have it private bool is refreshing. Then we are going to have one more command here, private async task refresh notifications async. Inside this, first thing we are going to say, we'll say start index equals 0, and then we'll simply await this fetch notifications async only. We'll call this. We are going to add relay command to this as well. So relay command, save it. After doing this, we'll set is refreshing to false. This is going to be observable property. So we'll access uppercase I. So is refreshing. Is refreshing, yes. Looks like we are good with this fetch notifications async and all. Let's use real-time updates as well right away. So for this, what we'll do, let's go to any of the view model. We'll have configure real-time updates. Let's copy from the home page, home view model, because there we have that on notification generate, right? So this thing we are going to copy, and where notification view model, here we are. We'll have this. We'll handle something auth service. We need to inject auth service in here. Auth service to get the current user's identity. Actually, auth service, real-time update service, we need to inject this real-time update service, have a field with underscore. We have real-time update service in place, and we just want this on notification generated method, nothing else. Then if that notification was for this current notifications only. Now what we'll do here, We will first check if this is for current user. Yes, that we checked. Then we'll say await toast async. Toast async. We'll say new notification. Okay, there is some new notification. And then we can maybe ask user to refresh, or user will know that there is a new notification, or we can say just the new notification is fine. User can pull to refresh. If user not doing this, we can also add that notification at the very top. What we'll do, we have our notifications collection. So on this we'll say notifications equals this DTO comma dot dot notification. Then we'll explicitly tell that this property has been changed. Alright. Now configuring this real-time update and removing it. For this, we'll simply go to notifications page, of course. Go to notification page, notifications page.xaml.cs. We will remove this entire thing from here now. So that was just for testing. Inject our notifications view model first. Notifications view model. Then we are going to inject our real-time update service as well. Real-time update service. Okay, then let's add underscores to this. This is the convention I follow. Then we will set binding context here. So binding context equals this notifications view model. After that, we are going to override on appearing, in which we'll say underscore notifications view model dot configure real-time updates. Then we are going to override on disappearing, and here we'll say underscore real-time update service dot remove handlers and name of notifications view model. And configuring, are we using notifications? Yeah, it should be notifications view model. Save everything. Now we are good. Let's quickly go to notification page.xaml. Here we have this collection view. We have this X name collection. Now we don't need this. We can add our item source using binding. Before setting this binding, we need to tell the data type of this page. We'll add namespace xmlns vm equals view model, and we are going to need DTOs as well for this one. So I will say xmlns DTOs equals DTOs. So the data type for this page is going to be notifications view model. Then we are here collection view item source. This will be notifications, but we are going to wrap this collection view inside a refresh view. Save it, and we are going to have our that activity indicator as well. So we'll wrap this. First we have refresh view. Inside this I'm going to have a grid. Inside grid I'm going to have collection view. After collection view I'm going to have my activity indicator. With activity indicator is running will be binding is busy, vertical options center, and horizontal options also center. Then on this collection view, binding item sources notifications, this is fine. In item template, data template, we are going to say for data template, data type would be notification DTO. Now we can access when and text, and I guess we are good. We are just using these two things here. After these, on refresh view, we are going to say is refreshing to binding is refreshing, and refresh command, just command would be binding refresh notifications command. And on this collection view, we are using endless scrolling. So for this, we'll say remaining items threshold. We can say maybe 5 or 10 because notifications are small piece of order. And then we'll say remaining item threshold reached command. We'll say binding fetch notifications command. Again, now we are good. Now we can also we have the post ID in notification, right? So if we are tapping any of the border which has notifications, we can actually open up the notifications details page. Okay, we can do that. Before this, inside this vertical stack layer, or no, inside this border, we'll say border or gesture recognizer, tab gesture recognizer, command, and this command we already have, right? In our parents view model. Where we have it, we are using notification view model. From notification view model, we go to base view model and where we don't have that thing. So that means for this notifications, we'll say base post view model. We'll have this thing. A post view model asks for post I post API. So we need to inject this thing here. We'll say post API and we'll pass this post API to our base post view model. And then in base post view model, we should have that go to details page command. So we are going to use this thing. Profile view model, not profile view model, notification XAML page. So here we'll say for binding, we'll use source, which is going to be a relative source with ancestor type as type base post view model. And then we'll set the path is going to be the go to details page command. And then here we need to provide command parameter as well. Now we have a situation. Because this command in both base post view model, it expects post model of post, but we don't have that. So what we can do from there, we will have an intermediate call to fetch the post. And I don't think we have created any service method or API for this one. We need to do that. So we'll go to services in our API. API, where is our API? Here is it, API, services, and then post service. Here we are going to have one more method. We'll say public async task post DTO and a label post DTO. We'll say get post async. Okay. Here we will provide post ID. So quid post ID. Now we need to get this post ID related post from the database. So for this, we can maybe create a new store procedure. Right now, these store procedures are getting multiple posts. We will have one version of this which will just going to return us a single post, something like get post by ID, maybe like this. And then we'll simply say post ID equals this post ID. And we will not set anything else. And yeah, this current user ID would be required to check if user has liked or subscribed this post, saved to this post. So we'll get current user ID also as a parameter. Var to array async, then we'll simply check if posts dot length is equals 0, that means this post does not exist, so we'll simply return null from here. If that is not the case, we'll return posts of 0. We're doing this like this because using these from SQL interpolated on and all, it returns collection only. So to array async, it will have only one item because our store procedure is going to return only one item. For this, we will first going to create this store procedure, then we'll add endpoint, and then we'll use it on notifications page. So to create store procedure, we'll simply select the API project from this top section, set as startup project. Then we'll go to package manager console, select API project as default, and then we'll create an empty migration. So we'll say add migration get post by ID SP store procedure. And why is it taking time? I have no idea. Okay, let it finish. It finished and we have this empty migration. Here what we'll do, we can go back and get the previous migration where we created the post SP. So we'll say add post ID to delete, not this one. Get user post bookmark, no, not this one. Create as proc get posts, this one. Copy this migration builder, or let's copy both of these methods. Come to this new, where is this new get post by ID SP, this new migration, paste, and we'll change the name to what we are using in our post service. We are using get post by ID, right? So we'll use this get post by ID in up and down both. Save, and then we'll quickly modify. So we have two parameters here from our post service, @post ID and current user ID. Current user ID we already have. Then we have post ID, which is also UID, that means unique identifier. And here we will have everything same, but with one change. We don't need order by here. Okay. We don't need offset fetch. We just need where p.id equals @post ID. Save it and we should be good. Okay. Save everything and we are good. Now we can use this method in our endpoint. Endpoints post endpoint. Here we are going to define one more endpoint. We can actually copy the single post. Here is that endpoint where we are fetching the post, this one. Copy this, go to the end. Here we'll say map get, and after post we'll have post ID with GUID. Start index page size, we don't need this, we just need GUID post ID. And here we'll say get post async. So this is for single post. First parameter post ID, second parameter user ID. This is going to return us single post, and name we can say get post by ID. We can simply name this. All right. Then let's copy this signature of this method. Go to our UI Refit API. Then MAUI project I posts API. Here at the very end, I'm just pasting it. I'll remove this current user ID and let's copy this delete attribute, change it to get, and this is what we need. API slash post ID. This is for getting a single post. Now we are good with this API stuff. Now go back to our notifications view model. So right now what we were trying to do, we were trying to get to the base post view model and open page. Trying to call the go to details page command directly, but that is not going to work for us because we need post model here. But on notifications page, we don't have post model, we just have post ID. What we'll do, we'll define a command in notification view model. Okay, so inside here only we are going to define a command. We'll say private async task. Let's say open post async like this. And here we are going to get post ID as a parameter, post ID, and this should be nullable. And this is going to be a relay command. And here we'll check if post ID dot has value and that post ID is not equals default. That means we have actual post. So using this, we'll get this post. So we'll say await make API call. We'll say async var post equals await post API, which we don't have yet. We are injecting it. That means we can get from the parent. So we'll say post API dot get post async, and we can provide our post ID dot value to this. Now here we'll check if post is equals null. Then we'll say not return. Now we can await post async. We can say post no longer exists, something like this, and we'll return from here. If that is not the case, now we have post model and we can use our go to details page command. We are going to use this dot execute and we can provide the post DTO now, which is this post DTO. But this go to details page command expects post model. What we'll do here, we'll say post model dot from post model is happening post model dot from, what was that, what is happening, post model, did I IntelliSense messed up post model? So it created some property somewhere. Where is it? Oh, it added this as a parameter. No, we don't need this. So here we'll say post model. Oh, because of mouse is here, so we'll say this dot from DTO and we'll say this post, which is actually DTO. Save it and now we are good. Now we just need to use this open post command on our notifications.xaml page. So let's go pages notification.xaml. Here we don't need this base post view model. Instead, we'll simply use notifications view model. And the name of the command will be open post command. Parameter is going to be command parameter binding post ID. Save everything. Now I think it should work. Let's quickly verify it. For API, we have IT already selected. Let's start the API. And then I'm going to run the MAUI application on both. First, let's have it on Android emulator. Start without debugging. Then I'm going to run it on physical device. Okay, this is on physical device. If we go to notification screen, something happened. It should not have been happened. Let's try. I don't know if it broke or something else happened. Let's quickly see. First, let's run on physical device. We'll see, and then we'll try to run it again on emulator. Okay, it is loading. Click on this notifications. Yes, we have some problem here. Let's see what it is. In output window, do we have something? We don't. I don't know. Earlier, I guess in .NET 8 or before, we had so many error related stuff here, but nowadays there are no information. It's very hard to debug now. So let's see if something is there in API side. No. We will need to put breakpoint. Okay, let's try to run in debug mode. Then we'll go to the notifications view model. We have its constructor ready. We have fetch notifications ready. Click on notifications. We have some problem here. It says unable to resolve service of type notification view model. Yes, and got notification view model. We added that, we injected that, but we didn't register that. So we'll go to mauiprogram.cs. Let's copy one of these and we'll say notifications view model and notification page. Save, start again. We have app running. Let it load. Go to notifications. We have breakpoints. Let's remove all the breakpoints. Continue. We are here, no notifications. We have pull to refresh. But right now, no notifications for this user, right? Because it does not have any post yet. Let's stop and run in non-debugging mode. Then we'll try to run the emulator where we have posts, and then we'll try to do some operation here so that that emulator gets the notification, and then from there we'll check. We have a notification here. Let's try to like this. We can see this notification. If we click on it, we are here and we got, okay, we got notifications. Oh, initially we are not calling it, right? With that post, that pull to refresh, we got these notifications. Now let's try this one. We'll see if this Mr. Broccoli saved your post. We should have notification, toast notification here, and we should have that message added to the top. Let's try. Save. App crashed. Why it crashed? Again, no information. So what we'll do on this emulator, I'm going to run it. Then from physical device, we'll trigger this. notification again. Okay, let's go to the details page. Go to refresh and let's try. I'm liking this, and we have some error. Can't toast on a thread that has not called looper.prepare. So toast message. If we go to notifications view model, when we get message from here from SignalR, then we are saying await toast async, which is not on the main thread. That's why it is not working like this, because this is getting called from somewhere else outside of its context. So for this toast async method, instead of calling it directly like this, we'll dispatch it to the main thread. We'll say await shell dot current dot dispatch, dispatcher dot dispatch async. We have this method. Inside this we can provide our action. Okay, so here we can directly say this, and we can remove this thing if we want to. It will automatically use async and await. We are passing task. Save it, and let's restart it. I'm restarting for Android emulator. Let's open up this again, the physical device. Let it load, let emulator load, then we'll go to notifications, pull to refresh, and then again try to do something. So we'll save, we see new notification, and then we say Mr. Broccoli saved your post. Let's try one more time. We do this new notification, Mr. Broccoli liked your post, and we got that new notification. You see? So that means, and when I'm scrolling this like this, then it is trying to fetch the new items. That means that endless scrolling is also working. Okay. Now there is only one thing. On when we are coming to this notifications view model, at that time we need to fetch the notifications. So fetch notification is async. With this, it should work for initial screen as well. Let's quickly stop and run in non-debugging mode for our this uh, Android emulator. We have it here. If we go to notifications now, we can see the notifications. All right. So that means this thing is also working. Now there is only one thing which we need to work to finalize our application. Let's say I am here and we need some notification on the home page. So if I do this, I'm saving this post, and we can see this notification here. If I click on it and I come back, this is still here. It should have got removed when I tapped on it. So let's quickly fix this as well. Right now what is happening, let's close all tabs. This thing we are getting on home page. So we'll open our home page. We have our home page, and we'll open our home view model. Home view model. And we'll open our homepage.xaml.cs, because from here we are using that. Go to post, not post details. Oh, we don't need this thing now, do we? Go to profile, go to notification. So this go to notifications page. What we can do, we have two, three different approaches. One thing is, from this, when we are tapping the notification, you can move this thing to the view model, or you can directly access home view model, and you can update dot is there new notification to false. This is also fine. It's up to you if you are having it here or you want to move it to the view model. Let's try if this works. I'll run this for my emulator and I'll open the physical device version as well, which is the previous version. All right, we have it. If I do this, like, you can see this notification. We tap on it, that got removed, and we move to the notification page. That means this thing is also working. So cool. So looks like everything, each and every functionality and everything is working. Now we will just check iOS, how this app is looking on iOS, and is there any problem with the iOS. That is the final remaining piece. Cool. That we'll do next.